Hi, welcome back. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this knitting station circular knitting machine today. And just do a bit of a review, have a look through it and show you, well, what kind of thing can you make with it? You know, is it value for money? What else is out there? Just those type of things. So I have been using this machine. So I've already taken out the box and set it up a while back, but just, you know, the bits and pieces inside here are all still intact really, because I haven't used those aspects of it. So let me just move the box a second and bring the machine in. Now when this comes, it will come without the legs on, and you will need to attach them, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't fit in the box. Now it's currently on Amazon for $17.99, which is really reasonable. To go for sort of the more branded ones of these, if you like, they're roughly about $89.99 on Amazon. So just to give you the comparison. Now obviously there's going to be difference in the quality between the two, but that doesn't mean that this isn't usable, but it's just, you know, giving you the idea of, well, what kind of things can you make on it, any tips and tricks really. So first off, it doesn't come with any sort of row counter, so you can't you know, just keep going. You have to keep an eye on what's happening, how many rows have you knitted, otherwise you're not going to have a clue where you are. So how you determine that is you have one pin that is white and the rest like a teal colour. So what I've actually done is on this little notch that's just before the pin, I put a red marker pen on there, just so that visually as it's going round I kind of know when it's coming here, and in my head I'm counting. And I usually do on this smaller machine, I'll count up to 10 and then I'll add that on a stitch marker, or you can just use a tally on a piece of paper and a pen. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, it's just to keep track of where you're up to, because if you're anything like me, you get easily distracted or something else happens and you need to step away and come back, and then you're going, oh, actually I don't remember how many rows I've done. So that's why I keep a tally. You have this little yarn gauge, or, you know, you put your wool in here and it feeds through and it holds it in place for you as you're going around, because there's no way that comes with this machine for you to sort of attach it and secure it down on the table, which is a little bit annoying. But you can always put like anti-slip mat under it, or a little bit of blue tack and push it down. I mean, you could go to the expense of buying a clamp if you want to clamp it to the table. So there are options, but what I tend to do is I just leave the wool on the floor, let it do its thing, and I'm using the other hand to hold on as I'm turning. It does move around a little and it does get a bit, you know, achy on the arm to try and hold it down, but it does work. So it works for me for the smaller things that I make. So it has two settings. You have a T and a P. So T makes a tube and a P would knit in a panel. Now I've never had any luck knitting in a panel, because it kind of turns the machine one way and you come back and it makes a flat knitted panel. By far the most popular thing to make on these are tubes, and then you make something out of that tube, be it a headband, a scarf. It does say you can make hats with this, but yeah, I would argue that it would be quite a small hat. So it, you know, it just being realistic as to what you can actually make on them. In the box, it tells you all on here what you get. It has got some instructions in here. So little instructions. You can see I've not used these at all, because you know, great if you have no tools whatsoever, but unfortunately I've got far too many tools, so I didn't need to actually use these. So it does give you a little bit of a step-by-step guide on things, on how to sort of cast on, cast off, how to fix any dropped stitches, how to change thread, change the colour if you want to make a, you know, stripy scarf, how to make mittens, and then how to make a tubular scarf. So So the instructions are quite good because you've got photos on there to show you how to use it, which is quite good. I've had other machines that have had no instructions whatsoever and are really difficult to actually get your head around, but there are lots of helpful videos out there. So attached on here you get like a little crochet hook. That's just to help you if you have any dropped stitches. You get these sort of 2 colours in with the kit, which is not really much to, you know, make yourself a scarf, gloves and a hat. So just be mindful that you're not going to get the wool that you need to make all the projects that they claim on here. Arguably, I'd say you wouldn't be able to make the whole scarf with just these 2 colours. I mean, not the best quality, but fine to get you started if you don't have any at all. But if you're buying it as a gift, you might want to consider just buying you know, a ball of wool to go with it, so that whoever's receiving the gift has got something to make the project with. What else have we got in here? Oh look, it does come with sticky pads for the feet. There you go, look, didn't even know that. So I might have to stick them on. And you get a little darning needle. Now again, it would probably break quite easily. And what I find is with these, the one that I use, it has sort of this, oh, just get it in focus there, like a curved edge to the tip. And this is a clover darning needle. You can pick them up in places like Dunham Mill, Hobbycraft and things. But I like that it has this curved tip because it's helpful to get your stitches off the machine when you need to get into these little nooks and crannies in here, whereas the straight ones, it's a blunt end as well. So, but you know, great because it's meant to be for kids. So I mean, it is obviously aimed towards children, and I think it is actually a fantastic way of getting children into knitting or some form of crafting. I know that my little girl was desperate to get knitting because I knitted and crocheted, and they were just too cumbersome for her to get her head round. So that's actually how we started with the knitting machines. Is she got one for Christmas, one of the bigger ones, and it's just expanded from there really, because it's another craft that involves wool. So yeah, I mean, this one is great. It might be frustrating to start with because you have to learn how to cast on and cast off, but once you've mastered that, really, you know, it's turning the handle and the projects are finished much quicker than if you were to hand knit something. I mean, you know, I could make something like this in 10 minutes. Now, if I was to hand knit that, it would take me at least a day to hand knit something. I mean, I am a slow knitter, so, but yeah, you know, it's, and that's done on this machine, like a little baby toddler headband. And I've got a video for that one to show you how to make it. So yeah, I mean, for the price, it's brilliant. It's a great little gift, like I say, for someone who might want to get started in crafting. I would say if you've seen them and thought, oh, they're a good idea, I want to give that a go, this is definitely a good place to start on with the price point. You know, $17.99, and that's the Prime Amazon as well, so you'd get it the next day. But yeah, and also, you know, Christmas is coming. If you're thinking, oh, my child would really love to get crafting. My little boy actually really likes this machine too. Just because, like I say, once I've cast on for him, he's only 6, he likes to just turn the handle and then he feels like, well, I've made a hat now, or I've made, you know, a scarf. He's made something, and it's definitely not cheating because there is still skill involved in, you know, having to keep the wool in place, changing colours, those type of things. But it's definitely a really good place to start. So I'll put a link to where you can get this on Amazon, not affiliated or anything like that, just so that it makes it easy to find. There are lots of other brands out there too, but this is the one in particular that I've gone for just because I've got so many of the machines, I don't really want to be spending more just to be able to get something that's a smaller size. So next on this machine, we'll be making like little chocolate orange covers for Christmas that look like little winter hats. So if you fancy having a go at one of those, then make sure you subscribe so you can get a peek at that video. Thank you very much for watching. See you all soon.